Good morning and welcome to Fox 29's News Now on this Monday morning. We're going to get started with some local news out of South Philadelphia. Pennsylvania Governor Tom Wolf is looking to help hundreds of workers facing layoffs with the impending closure of the Philadelphia Energy Solutions refinery. The Wolf administration is sending the Department of Labor and Industry to the PES corporate headquarters in Center City today to meet with workers. Fox 29's Steve Keeley filed this report.
After taking maybe the most popular summer week off for vacation, for sure, lots of these people coming back to work here in Center City, even in the rain, are happy to have good careers and jobs to return to after thinking about the 1,000-plus Southwest refinery workers who do not.
The effect on labor and the economy is the following. The refinery closure will cost some 2,000 workers their jobs. 1,200 are employed by Philadelphia Energy Solutions, and around another 800 are from the building trade unions.
When the stunning announcement came from the refinery's corporate offices here at 18th and Market just 12 days ago that it was shutting down, some workers were told to pack up their desk and office belongings and leave for good immediately, with no severance pay and no paid unused vacation time. Thankfully, state law requires a minimum 60 days notice, so the refinery's first announced shutdown date for this Friday gets moved back to August 25th, exactly 60 days and 2 months after that shutdown job loss announcement. And now state help again, starting here at the corporate headquarters for the white-collar staff here today and then tomorrow through Thursday at the refinery, as the state labor department has what it calls a rapid response team in town to help the 1,000-plus workers apply for unemployment, health benefits, and to get any other help and education services, even maybe help finding a start on a new career.
And the idea of retraining us for jobs that don't exist is not the answer. The idea to put a solar panel farm on the site is not the answer. It will take about 20 years of remediation to make the site so it can be used for anything other than an industrial complex. The law requires, under remediation, that it be returned to the state it was when the complex opened up.
So while coming back to work after a long vacation is often sometimes grueling, especially when it's pouring outside, maybe now thinking of those Southwest refinery workers situation, complaints may be far and few between. In Center City, Steve Keeley, Fox 29 News.
And more in local news this morning. Police are on the lookout for an 80-year-old man named Edgar Himmel. Investigators say he's wanted in connection with a murder on the 100 block of Old Orchard Drive in Easton. Hank Flynn has more on this story and the search for the suspect.
And police here in Palmer Township say that though 80 years old may be too old for some things, it's not too old for murder charges. 80-year-old Edgar Himmel of Palmer Township is suspected of murdering his wife, 66-year-old Penny Van Tassel Himmel. And police call Himmel armed and dangerous and continue their search for him this morning. Ms. Van Tassel Himmel, the victim, was active in her church, so when she didn't show up for services on Sunday morning, that set off alarm bells between her pastor and the several people that she typically brought to and from church on Sunday morning. She was active in church working for Meals on Wheels, troubled kids, and other things. Northampton County DA John Morganelli says that she is a victim of, quote, homicidal violence, unquote. She's believed to have been dead for several days, and his office may offer updates today. Himmel, who's 5'11", he's got that wraparound mustache, a bald head, and brown eyes, may have taken off in the couple's dark green 2019 Nissan Rogue when he fled. License plate is GHV0051. According to records, the victim and the suspect both have roots in Chicago, but it is not known where they met. Quite possibly they met here. But at the end of the day, police say if you do see Himmel, remember, though he's 80, he is armed and dangerous. To stay away, if you do see him, call 911 and let the police do their work. From Northampton County, Palmer Township, Hank Flynn, Fox 29 News.
And more local news overnight. In Delaware County, witnesses led investigators to a gunman in Darby Township. The incident began last night just before 11:30 p.m. when a man drove up to a police officer saying he had been shot on the 1100 block of Hook Road. Witnesses told police where to find the suspect. He was arrested and is cooperating with police, but his name has yet to be released. Detectives believe a fight may have led to the shooting. The victim, meanwhile, is in stable condition. And this morning, the search continues for a getaway driver wanted in a robbery at a Sprint store in Philadelphia's Chestnut Hill neighborhood. It happened yesterday afternoon on Crittenden Street near Mermaid Lane. Police say 3 armed men wearing masks barricaded themselves inside the store before negotiating with police. Several employees inside were able to escape, and no one was hurt, and the 3 men were eventually arrested. Police say a 4th man got away in a dark gray or black Nissan. Happy birthday to you. And in Camden County, a vigil was held to remember a young man who would have celebrated his 21st birthday yesterday. Family and friends gathered at Hayden Heights High School yesterday to remember Curtis Jenkins III. He was delivering a meal from his food delivery service in Camden when police say he was robbed, kidnapped, and killed. His body was found a few days later inside a garage. His former co-worker shared the last time she saw Jenkins, a man who was excited to turn 21.
He was just so happy, left out of the door, just in a great mood, hugged them. You know, he said he was making food on the weekend, and he texted us on Sunday and told us what the menu was. And this whole thing is unbelievable.
Police have since charged Brandon Beverly with Jenkins' murder. They are still searching for a second person of interest. Jenkins will be laid to rest on Saturday. And next Sunday, a citywide emergency violence prevention meeting will be held in light of gun violence in our city. The latest victims were 2 teenagers shot in the city's Germantown section. It happened just after 3 yesterday morning on the 5400 block of Green Street. A 16-year-old boy was shot in the face, and an 18-year-old was shot in the lower abdomen. Police were in the right place at the right time, fortunately.
Police just happened to be in the area when they came upon 2 males that were shot. It's ongoing. There's blood evidence on the scene as well as a shell casing. We have no description on the offenders at this time.
Both victims were rushed to the hospital in stable condition. Sunday's violence prevention meeting will take place at the Met on North Broad Street. Doors open at 1:30 p.m. And there were some scary moments on the campus of Thomas Jefferson University and Philadelphia's East Falls neighborhood yesterday. An error during a test of its emergency alert system led to a false alarm being sent out saying there was an active shooter on campus. A university spokesperson says the all clear was given 20 minutes later after campus security confirmed there was no threat. The university apologized, saying it is taking further action to ensure it doesn't happen again. And happening today in Mercer County, New Jersey, the public will have a chance to weigh in on New Jersey's business tax incentive controversy, which led to the program ending earlier this month. A contentious tax credit that had been put into law back in 2013 expired last Monday. A task force created by Governor Phil Murphy in January is set to hold its 3rd hearing today. The group is investigating tax credits. Today's meeting at the Trenton War Memorial is the first for the general public invited to testify. Also in New Jersey this weekend, in Atlantic County, things are back to normal after a bomb threat at the Cove in Brigantine on Saturday. Investigators say staffers checked badges for admission to the beach and found a note saying there was an IED buried in the sand. The situation left guests confused and scared. The Atlantic City Bomb Squad searched for a possible explosive, but nothing was found. No one was hurt, and the beach was eventually reopened.
They said there was a bomb threat, that someone came into the checkpoint and that they brought a note to the person at the checkpoint that there was a bomb, so they told us we had to evacuate. And all of us were just on the corner waiting for 3 hours until the canine dogs came and cleared out the beach and told us it was safe to come back.
And in Gloucester County, people are protesting how geese are being treated at one condo complex. People living at the Meadows condos in Sewell say every year management hires exterminators to gas the geese as a way to control the population. Protest organizer Barb Spector says there are more humane ways to handle the problem.
I just would really like to see this end. It's really upsetting to me. It is a huge financial cost too, to kill the geese and to do everything that they do. It would be a lot less expensive if they used humane measures.
Protesters say gassing has been happening for the last 6 years, and they have protested since the beginning. And moving on to your Fox 29 Weather Authority. The Philadelphia area is slated for a cooler Monday following a stretch of some hot and humid weather across the Delaware Valley. A few downpours are expected this morning, but that will be followed by some sunshine, thankfully, this afternoon with a high of around 80 degrees. Temperatures are expected to jump back up into the 90s, though, by Tuesday with mostly sunny conditions, only to then return back to rain as some showers are expected to return to the forecast by Thursday with some afternoon thunderstorms. Here we have a look at current temperatures in our area. A mild 59 degrees up in Mount Pocono, slightly warmer over in Lancaster, and about the same here, 71 degrees in Philadelphia. And we've made it to at least the mid-70s point in Wildwood, New Jersey. And looking ahead to your 7-day forecast, again, some showers this morning, but that'll give way to sun eventually. And we're only looking at a high of 80 degrees today, which sounds downright breezy compared to the mid-90s that we were experiencing for the majority of last week. But we go back to that sunny, warmer condition tomorrow, and hot and humid temperatures continue into Wednesday and Thursday, which will give way to some more precipitation, hopefully getting it out of the system before this weekend when the Phillies are slated to return home. And don't forget to download the latest version of the Fox 29 Weather Authority app to have the latest forecast right at your fingertips. And moving on to political news this morning, the Justice Department is shaking up the legal team fighting for the inclusion of a citizenship question on the 2020 census, but offered no specifics on why the change was being made. Doug Luzader has the story this morning from Washington.
While the Trump administration is still trying to find a way to add a citizenship question on next year's census. We're getting down to crunch time now.
Yep, this comes as Democrats are accusing the government of abusing families in detention centers. Doug Luzader has the story this morning from Washington. Hi, Doug.
Good morning. The administration hopes that a new legal team will be able to come up with arguments to add this citizenship question that will satisfy the Supreme Court.
With new census forms still up in the air, the Justice Department has big changes, creating a new legal team to again push the president's argument that next year's census forms should include a citizenship question. Yesterday, the president returned to Washington from his holiday weekend and kept up the drumbeat.
They're spending $15 to $20 billion on a census. They're asking everything except, are you a citizen of the United States? How ridiculous is that?
But the new legal team will have to figure out how to add the question after the Supreme Court shot down the first attempt.
I think the president has expressed determination. He's noted that the Supreme Court didn't say this can't be asked. They said that they didn't appreciate the process by which it came forward the first time.
But critics allege that the administration is trying to suppress the count, a part of the president's broader crackdown on illegal immigration. And Democrats continue to make their case against the president's border detention practices, some of which have been highlighted in an inspector general's report.
Under a lot of trauma, that they are in a facility that is dehumanizing. And, you know, this is a choice by the current administration. They are choosing to not allow asylum seekers to go through the legal process.
And that issue is going to come up before Congress later this week, the conditions in which some folks are being held in some of these detention centers. Back to you guys.
All right. We'll see what happens later today, especially.
And moving on to consumer news this morning. Are you one of the many Twitter users skipping your Starbucks coffee this morning? Why, customers are upset with the company once again and calling for a boycott.
Boy, Starbucks is catching some heat after turning away police officers at one of its locations.
Yeah, joining us from the Fox Business Network studio, Tracy, what's going on with this story?
Yes, well, Starbucks has now issued an apology following the removal of 6 Tempe, Arizona police officers from a location. Now, this all happened on the 4th of July. And following the incident, when the police officers were asked to leave by a barista because they felt they made one of the other customers there feel unsafe. That's why they were asked to leave. But the Tempe Police Association, they later tweeted out on July 5th about the incident. They included the hashtag dump Starbucks. That, of course, has since been picking up some steam on Twitter, on social media. A lot of outrage over this happening. Starbucks, they sent a letter to the Tempe Police Department saying that this shouldn't have happened to their officers, to any customer, really. They don't want to make anyone feel unwelcome there, and that they are taking steps to make sure it doesn't happen again, that they've met with the Tempe Police Department over the weekend, that they're continuing to talk and look for ways to move forward. But of course, very similar in some ways to the incident that happened there in Philadelphia, where those customers were asked to leave, and it sparked that whole racial sensitivity training for employees there at Starbucks. It caused the whole shutdown of Starbucks locations across the country for about a day.
Yeah. Well, we certainly remember that story. Hey, well, isn't this the day that Chick-fil-A gives away free food?
It is not the day.
No.
Tomorrow is the day, but we are giving you 24 hours notice to get your cow costume together, because you need to dress up like a cow, or at least have some sort of cow accessory to get that free food. Tomorrow is Cow Appreciation Day at Chick-fil-A, so starting at door open until 7 p.m. you can get that free food as long as you're dressed like a cow. Of course, expect long lines. I think this is a very popular event that Chick-fil-A always has, so lots of cows there, lots of people dressed like cows, so enjoy that free food.
Utterly ridiculous. Well, I see you're back, Tracy. You know, I follow you on the gram. This is one of the best honeymoons I've ever been on. We just put up a picture.
Fun?
So what'd you start with, a safari?
Yes, we started in Tanzania with a safari and then moved on from there to a week in the Seychelles. And both were so different but so amazing in their own ways. So I'm already wishing I was back on the beach.
I bet. The Seychelles, not far from where you were on safari, but what a great honeymoon.
Yeah.
And now your life is downhill. But,
no.
Not at all.
I hope not.
Not at all. Looks like you had a great time. Nice to have you back, though.
Yes.
We missed you.
Thank you.
All
missed
right.
you guys.
All right. See you tomorrow.
Bye, Tracy.
7:27.
And more on Good Day Philadelphia this morning. A cold margarita by the pool sounds pretty perfect in this heat wave, but beware of margarita burn.
You might have a margarita. Hi, Dr. Jen.
Hey.
Good to have you back for
you.
this segment. We've heard of sunburn. What is this margarita burn we've been talking about?
Yeah, it's very real, and it's a very official name. How do you pronounce it,
So
Dr.
it's
Jen?
called phytophotodermatitis.
Okay, so these photos are from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Margarita burn can happen if you have lime juice on your skin and then you decide to sit out in the sun. Those burns can become painful and uncomfortable, but it's not just limes and citrus fruits that you have to be aware of. There are some other foods and plants that can cause the condition as well.
So, was Lauren right?
Yeah,
there? What is
I'm
it?
like, thank you,
So we
doctor.
don't need her anymore. Thank you.
Fabulous.
I've played a doctor on
My
TV.
job is done here.
All right, Dr. Lauren. We'll turn it back over to Dr. Jen.
I love it.
So, did she say that accurately?
Yeah, she did. So, I mean, and so it's not just limes, interestingly enough. It can be other certain, it's weird. Like, it almost seems like a random assortment of foods, but it's not. Celery can do it. Figs can do it. Carrots can do it. Parsley. Yeah, it's, and it's these sort of very specific foods that have a particular chemical in it that when the chemical gets on your skin, and you get in sunlight, and by the way, this is not everybody, this is just some people it happens to, it can cause this phytophotodermatitis, which is a burning red rash. We see on the full screen here, you can get blistering. It can be very painful, and it can be big, it can be small, depending on how much of the fruit juice or citrus juice or whatever you have on your skin that got into the sun.
So it sounds like it really has nothing to do with margarita. Let's say you didn't have any alcohol around you at all,
That's
just
right.
had the lime.
Or you could have tequila with the lime, and as long as there's a lime,
Or
it
you
could be
could
tequila burn.
A Bloody Mary with the celery.
I mean, that's exactly right. And that's the thing. And actually, I thought it was so interesting when I was researching this segment. There was a case report of a woman who had made key lime pie from scratch.
No way.
She'd been dealing with like all these limes, and literally she goes out into the sun and gets this rash. So it's got to be the combination of the substance on you plus the sun. It's a combination.
Plus the
sun. It's not just, oh, you got lime juice on you, but it's plus the sun.
Is it very different than sun poisoning? Like when you...
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because this is like a response. It's a chemical reaction from what's in the substance. And okay, let me try that again. It's the chemical that's in the fruit mixing with the sun, and it causes a reaction that then contributes to the
It's like
rash.
when my face blew up about a month ago.
Yeah.
Because I've had sunscreen reacted to the heat of the sun, and my face blew up.
Oh, no.
So I guess you could prevent it by wearing gloves?
Yeah, so you want to wash your hands if you're dealing with limes or citrus fruits. And again, it's not always predictable who this is going to happen to, right?
Right.
So you want to obviously wash the substance off, rinse the stuff off, but sunscreen is a big deal, right? So you want to protect yourself from the sun as well as protecting yourself from the element.
Let's say we have it now. Yeah, what do I do to get rid of the pain?
Yeah, so it's really what we call self-limiting, which means it's going to go away by itself after a few days, which is a good thing. But many people use cold compresses, some Tylenol or Motrin, as long as your doctor says it's okay. Maybe a topical steroid, depending. You want to, I would say, definitely get this checked out, though, because this can be, it can look like other things, right? So this can look like poison oak, poison ivy, like other stuff. So don't, it may very well be margarita burn, but go to a doctor and just be, make sure you tell them, oh, I was bathing in limes, and could it be
And
this?
it could be so innocent. You can pick up your glass and cheers.
Cheers.
It splashes off, and then there you are. Jeez. We have to thank Cuba Libre for providing the margaritas.
Oh, I love that place down on 2nd
Yeah.
Street, off Market, Cuba Libre. Thank you, Dr. Jen.
Thank you.
And more on Good Day this morning, something far less appealing than cocktails, insects. Specifically, evolving insects. Why experts say cockroaches are becoming harder to kill than ever before.
Just the word cockroach made Lauren Johnson run out of the studio, so I'm here alone. Experts say today's cockroaches are stronger and more resilient than ever before. But why? Dr. John Cambridge is here, the CEO of Philadelphia Insectarium and Butterfly Pavilion in Northeast Philadelphia. The man never brings in butterflies. No. He just brings in creepy crap.
Yeah, always.
Good to see you, John.
Good to see you.
Oh, what did you have? I thought you had one in your hand there.
Soon.
Okay, so, oh, Lauren, have you seen this big one?
Yeah.
It's got wings.
Now, these aren't ones that we're going to find in Philadelphia.
Oh,
she's literally gone.
She ran out of the studio.
Yeah.
All right, what is causing the cockroaches to get stronger and stronger?
All right, so let's imagine that you've got 100 cockroaches in your house, and we're not going to make any judgments about that. You got 100 cockroaches. You apply a chemical, and you've killed 90 of them. Congratulations.
Yes.
Those 10 that are left are more resistant to that chemical. And so those are going to be the parents of all of the new cockroaches that are going to be in your house. You say, oh my gosh, I got cockroaches again. You apply a bunch of chemical, and you've again killed 90%, and those ones that are left are the new parents. They're stronger and stronger and stronger each time. And so we continue to have cockroaches that are now resistant to this chemical and that chemical and this chemical. It's the exact same theory as why you need to take all your antibiotics whenever you're
when the doctor
giving those.
says take them all.
Yeah.
What do we do about it? You just make stronger and stronger chemicals?
I mean, that's one really bad solution.
Horrible idea.
Yeah, I mean, the idea is really to try and create an environment that you don't have to use chemicals to keep them out of.
Yeah.
So keep a clean kitchen. Don't let things, you know, fall under the fridge and just like, oh, I'll get it next week.
I'll get it later.
Yeah, don't do that.
Okay, what are you holding here? What type of roach?
Well, this is a giant cave roach. We don't have these ones in Philly, but we do have these guys. So there's three different species that you see commonly around Philadelphia.
Next time, could you possibly clean your containers?
Nah, they're filthy roaches. They made it like this, all right? That's not our fault. It was clean when we got them in there.
Those are babies. How long does a cockroach how old do they get?
Really depends, but you know, so they have a number of different nymphal instars, and then they become a sexually mature adult, and then they're gonna, you know, make more babies. But you know, they're not gonna last more than a year normally.
Okay. How do we get rid of them in the house besides cleaning? If we see them, is it the shoe idea or spray them with something?
I mean, the cockroach is more like a canary in the cave. It tells you that there is something there that you need to clean up and fix. But I gotta say, at the museum, we teach pest is a location, not a species. Everything has a place somewhere in the world.
Okay.
So while a cockroach is a pest when it's in your kitchen, it's also providing valuable ecosystem services when it's in the forest, helping decompose logs and rotting materials.
Don't want to get rid of them.
No, if we want to, when we say we want to get rid of the cockroaches, we want to get rid of the cockroaches in your house. We don't want to get rid of the cockroaches in the world.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you see a cockroach in your house, you're not going to kill it, are you?
Definitely not.
You're going to take it outside.
I, you know, probably wouldn't see a cockroach in my house either.
Oh,
but,
you're that clean, are you, John?
No. No.
Well, thanks for bringing those in.
Yeah, absolutely. Touch it? Yeah, come on, give it a shot.
I'm not touching that.
Yeah, he's a nice little guy.
That's fine.
Yeah, you can do it there.
Is it going to take off? It's going
No.
I know it's going to land right on my face.
So cockroaches, a lot of them, they're terrible flyers. If this thing was to fly, it would just flutter downwards.
No, my luck, that'll be
Zap, right
down
there.
my throat at some point.
Yeah.
Lauren, you back? Come on over.
She's gone? Yeah, no?
No.
Yeah.
Thank you, John.
Planted one somewhere.
Okay. Oh! It's flying. It's somewhere in the studio.
And more on Good Day this morning, something a bit more appetizing. Local malls are jumping on the Restaurant Week bandwagon, offering deals on dishes you might not expect. We're not talking about chicken fingers or pizza, we're talking about steak. Fox 29's Mike Jarek says, you gotta try this.
Look at me. I'm in a mall. I'm rarely in a mall. So this has got to be something big to get me to come out, right? I'm in Cherry Hill for the 7th annual Restaurant Week. But it's not just Cherry Hill Mall. It's also the Moorestown Mall. No, this is not a police lineup. These three men are involved with different restaurants. Give me your name.
I'm Chef Rob from the Capitol Grill Cherry Hill. Okay, we have featuring our citrus glazed salmon right here, Marcona almonds, green beans, cipollini onions, and we have our dry aged 14-ounce sirloin, finished with a little bit of steak butter, cooked to your perfection.
And of course, you're doing a wine pairing.
Yes, we are. We are featuring our generous pour as well.
Generous pour.
Generous pour, yes.
That means it's going to be spilling out of the glass.
No, it's a little bit generous. You can sample different wines from different regions, and you can pair it with our food.
So I'm CJ Weiss from Seasons 52 Cherry Hill. I'm the managing partner for our local restaurant here. Well, Seasons 52 means we change our menu seasonally, and we have 52 wines by the glass. So ideally, you could come in once a week and try something new on the menu.
Oh my God. Do you pair wine with dessert?
You can. You can pair wine with just about anything.
Give me a couple of examples of what's in here. I love the kind of
So the fresh one up top is going to be our summer feature. That's our blueberry cheesecake.
Oh.
Two of our house favorites down below are going to be the key lime pie and the mocha macchiato.
Mama, why is Restaurant Week special?
So this is a quite a value because you can get a 3-course lunch for $20. You can also do a 3-course dinner for $35. You can combine either a soup or a salad and then an entree and then of course one of our mini indulgences.
If I think, yeah, man, I would like to go to that restaurant, these kind of fancy restaurants, but it's so expensive, I'm afraid. This is the week.
Season 52 being the first choice.
All right. Next up, Bahama Breeze. Sir, what's your name?
Yeah, I'm John Passetti from Bahama Breeze here in Cherry Hill.
Man, you got a big spread.
Our fresh fish tacos. We're also featuring, these are our appetizers, our mini conch fritters.
Okay.
Very, very fresh here.
Love conch.
Yep, we have the jerk chicken pasta, one of our very popular dishes, one of our favorites. For our summer special, we are featuring the Hurricane drinks.
So you have gold cutlery. Yeah. And so do you, Capitol Grill. Where's your gold stuff?
You know what? With these kind of mini indulgences, you don't need anything but a spoon.
I love that. Nicely done. So it goes through July 14th, Restaurant Week, not only here at the Cherry Hill Mall, but also Morristown Mall, too. You got to try this.
And thanks for sticking with us on Fox 29's News Now. We're going to move you over to Nantucket, Massachusetts, where a hearing is taking place in a courtroom for actor Kevin Spacey amid groping allegations. Stay with us.
True and accurate, is that right? Yes. In terms of what occurred on 7/7/19, yes? All right. For what period of time are you looking to extend the order? A year. Okay, there are no children involved here, right? There's no reason to have any contact, is that correct? Okay. Clerk, what date are we looking at for 1 year?
1 year would be July 6th, 2020.
Thanks. Okay. All right, folks. Is he going to make bail, Ms. Marge?
He's going to make some phone calls, Your Honor. He's not sure he's able to.
All right. So why don't we give you a further date within 30, and then if he makes the bail, you decide to shift the date, we can do that. But
July 29th. I know that's a fairly busy day, but I don't want to go into the jury week. If that works for the court.
July 29th.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay, sir, this case is continued to July 29th for pretrial hearing. Attorney Magnuson has been appointed. There's a $150 counsel fee. You are being held on $250 to recognize that amount. You also are ordered to abide by the restraining order.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. We can get him a copy of that restraining order before he leaves the building. This is Commonwealth versus Joshua Skinner.
Good morning again, Your Honor. Aaron Donovan on behalf of Mr. Skinner.
Your Honor, Jesse McWilliams for the Probation Department.
Right. Can I give his record there, Jess?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thanks.
Okay, Mr. Skinner, this complaint charges 1988 CR 247 in the town of Nantucket on July 5th, 2019. Received stolen property over, count 1. Possessed class A drug, count 2. Miscellaneous municipality ordinance, and wonderful, open container of alcohol. 1988 CR 249 in the town of Nantucket on July 5th, count 1, B&E building daytime for felony.
Sir, if you're charged with another offense while these matters are open, you can be held for 90 days without bail. We're appointing you, Ms. Donovan, the case in chief, yes, in both matters, please. All right, I'll put a fee on one of them, not the other. This one
I will
here.
point out, Your Honor, those two complaints stem from the same night's incident.
Okay, well, so one fee would be appropriate then, yeah. So he's in violation status already, Mr.?
He is, Your Honor.
Okay.
Mr. Skinner was placed on probation originally on December 12th of 2016 for 2 counts of a possession of a Class B substance. He received a violation notice for a new charge, 3 counts of receiving stolen property, and has been under that violation pending until now.
But has he been detained?
He had not been
Obviously
detained,
not. He
Your
wouldn't
Honor,
be charged with no offenses. Yeah. Are you requesting detention
At this point, Your Honor, probation would be requesting detention based on the facts of the new case. B&E daytime and receiving stolen property again. In my dealings with Mr. Skinner, it's my opinion that these alleged crimes are all to fuel a drug addiction. And I've been informed, although it's not contained in any police report, that as recently as last week he necessitated Narcan. At this point, I believe detention is really the only way to keep him safe until any course of proper inpatient treatment can be put in place.
Thanks. Mr. DA, go ahead. Is there a detention form up here? Yes? No?
Your Honor, there's a detention notice. I have the detention findings form here that I'll...
Thank you. Okay. Mr. DA, go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor.
In addition to seeking cash bail in the new matter, the Commonwealth is also moving to revoke Mr. Skinner's bail on docket 1888 CR 393, which on October 15th, he was given the bail warning with not to commit any new crimes. We now have probable cause to believe he has committed a new crime and no conditions of release. He would abide by no conditions of release. Turning first to the new matter, the Commonwealth is seeking bail in the amount that the bail commissioner said of $10,000, along with the condition that he be drug and alcohol-free, subject to random screens. The Commonwealth's request is based on the fact that he is currently on probation, that he has an open matter, he has picked up a new offense, his out-of-state and in-state record, and the facts and circumstances surrounding the new event.
Forgive me, you're looking for $10,000 on the B&E?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Or the incident as a whole. I know they're charged as two separate dockets, but the incident as a whole. Turning to the facts, Your Honor, they come from a Nantucket police report on July 5th, where officers were dispatched to the report to an address in Nantucket for reports of a suspicious male party going through a tan clutch-style bag that contained jewelry. The reporting party was able to describe the suspect. Officers responded to the area, and detectives located a male drinking a 3 Olives vodka bottle in the open, holding a tan clutch purse as described by the reporting party and matching the description of that that the reporting party gave. Based on that, they placed him under arrest for the bylaw violation, and while going through the investigative process, determined that the clutch he was holding contained pieces of women's jewelry that were valued at $4,500, along with a prescription bottle containing 6 sertraline pills, which is the generic form of Zoloft. The pill bottle did not belong to the defendant, as it had a different person's name on it. Through investigation, the Nantucket police determined that the jewelry and medication were stolen from a residence on Westchester Street here on Nantucket. Turning to his criminal record, Your Honor, here in the Commonwealth, he does have that matter on which he's on probation, which is 2 counts of possession of Class B, and he's currently on has an open case for 2 counts of receiving 3 counts of receiving stolen property. Turning to his out-of-state record, he does have contacts with the law enforcement in the state of Maine, including convictions for disorderly conduct and domestic assault, most recently in 2017 up in Maine. Based on his out-of-state record, he also does have their version of a 209A order currently active in the state of Maine. Based on those facts, Your Honor, the fact that he has open larceny-type cases, the fact that he is on probation, and the fact that he has committed another larceny offense where he's alleged to have broken into someone's home and stolen that amount of jewelry, we believe that $10,000 along with the drug and alcohol-free with screens condition is appropriate as long as the motion to revoke based on the new offense. Thank you.
Thank you. Go ahead, Ms. Donovan.
Thank you, Your Honor. On behalf of Mr. Skinner, I would be asking that you not revoke his bail at this time or detain him. And if the court were inclined to place bail on a new case, that it be for a nominal amount. He is 31 years old, Your Honor. He resides in Nantucket, works with his father, and lives with his father, who was here in court with him. They do roofing together. Your Honor, I understand his case, since the case has been pending in October, he has been to Gosnell a couple of times for at least 2 weeks, and also followed up with a PhD program with Stoughton, and also has been done in a rehab in Hyannis. The incident that happened last week, and the report does state that he was intoxicated. I would be suggesting, Your Honor, that the better course for Mr. Skinner would be not to place him in jail, but to place him on daily reporting and daily screens, as well as a GPS unit and a scram unit, as opposed to if any bail were to be set, most likely he wouldn't be able to post any of it. But I would suggest that instead of screens and a scram would probably be best to ensure that and reporting to probation, that Mr. Skinner is doing what he needs to do and to ensure that he comes in. His matter is scheduled to be on the jury trial assignment for Wednesday. I believe it would then be placed in the August trial date. So I'd be asking, Your Honor, that the court not revoke his bail and not detain him at this time.
I'm sorry. Did you say the receiving case, not the receiving case is likely to be because is in custody on that or what?
No. The ones from the receiving that he was arraigned on in October, they're on the jury trial assignment.
Right. That's this docket 393. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
So that's already scheduled for jury trial assignment on this Wednesday.
Yeah. Okay.
Docket 1888-393, motion to revoke defendant's bail was denied. On docket number 1988 CR 247, the defendant is to post $2,500 cash bail. So this case will be continued to.
Your Honor, we can just put it over for Wednesday so we can kind of keep them together.
Continued here to July 10th, 2019, and you are ordered to recognize in the amount of $2,500. And his appearance is waived for Wednesday, July 10th. Both cases to be continued to that day? Both new cases?
Yes, please.
The probation matter as well, Madam Clerk.
And that's on for jury trial assignment,
The open cases.
393.
And Judge, regarding the request for drug and alcohol-free with
I did put that in as well. Thank you. If he makes the bail. Thanks.
I'm sorry, thank you, I missed that. So the defendant is also ordered to say drug and alcohol-free with screens. And Attorney Donahue appointed in case in chief for all cases, Your Honor?
Please.
The two new cases, yes. Thank you. Attorney Mike Wilson, you want to call that summary process?
Sure, the only thing is, whatever happened. Thanks.
Okay, so this is Commonwealth versus Catherine Tripp. Catherine Tripp?
Thank you. Is that a new case, Madam Clerk?
Yes.
This one here?
Yes, we have a new arrest.
Thank you. Okay.
She's coming, thank you.
You see. Yeah.
Thank you.
Your Honor, she still has yet to meet with probation. I don't know what this we can arrange her, but she's not having it. Now she's going to be directed to our office to do it. I don't know her desires.
Yeah. Okay. Mom, she's.
Okay, this is Commonwealth versus Catherine Tripp. Ms. Tripp, this complaint charges that in the town of Nantucket on July 5th, 2019, count 1, assault and battery.
I'm sorry, what date?
Assault and battery. Not guilty, answer, Your Honor.
If you're charged with another offense, well, this matter is open. You'll be held for 90 days without bail. Where's the petitioner on the 35? Are they here? Come up, please. Just come up here, please. Actually, come right around. Thanks. Please. Yes, yes, please. Come on up.
And that is going to do it for us today at Fox 29's News Now. Be sure to catch us again tomorrow at the same time, same place, 10 a.m. And follow Fox 29 online at fox29.com, as well as our mobile app and across social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And thank you for joining us.